I said no to $30 million. That is the video that I'm going to react to today. So I didn't do that. Although last week I actually got an offer for one of my businesses, which is why I'm watching this video, by the way. We'll talk about that more in a second. First, let's take a look at this video from Guillaume Moubeches. Seems to be the CEO of Lemlist. I think that's a cold emailing software. So let's take a look.
1 week ago, we received a $20 million offer from investors. We won't accept it, and I'm gonna tell you why. 3 years ago, I was chatting with a friend about the startup we were building. He asked me how much money did we get from investors, and I said 0. He told me that it was not a startup then. That's how it works apparently. The success of a startup.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar to, especially the tech world, Silicon Valley, like a lot of these companies, they grow by having a great idea, they have a small team, and then they raise funds. They get investors involved and...
Depends on how much money you get from investors, how much funds they raise. However, 75% of companies who have raised funds, which means who got money from investors, fail. That's 8 out of...
So 8 out of 10 fail. Okay, so this could mean that when you get money from investors, you have this pressure, like you feel like you have to succeed as well.
How can you get millions and still end up with nothing? Let's hear what Chef Simon has to say about it.
Hello, I'm Chef Simon. A company, it's like a cake, un gâteau. At the start, each co-founder has a piece of that cake. When an investor gives money to a company, it's generally for 2 reasons. First, he wants a piece of the gâteau. And second, he wants to use the money he gives to cook a bigger cake, un gros gâteau. So why is it that...
So sometimes, like he mentioned here, they want a piece of the cake, meaning they see potential, but then also they have other ideas for what they want to do. Versus when you do something yourself, you have an idea of something you want to do and you have this vision and you just want to do that. When you have investors, you take their ideas and their pressure because they put money into your business. Now they also are in the decision-making process. So you're not really in control anymore, not the same level.
That those company fails. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because it's way more complicated to cook when there is another chef in the kitchen. Can you make the cake of your dream if someone tells you which ingredients to use? It's not possible.
So I guess I'll chime in here because like I mentioned in the beginning, I had someone reach out a week ago. We've been negotiating for a couple of days now. They want to buy one of my businesses. Maybe I'll share more in the future. One of the things that I did was like listing out like the pros and cons of both and who I am as a person. Like that's the main thing you want to keep in mind when you make the big decisions. Like who are you? What is it that you want? And then my friends reminded me like, Gusten, what you do is when you start something, it's successful as long as you have creative freedom. You have control because you have an idea, you want to do it and you work super hard to do that. But as soon as someone tries to tell you what to do, I do kind of what I want because I value freedom. I truly do. And in business, more so, creative freedom. And so let's continue watching.
That's what pushed me to stop looking for investors. I know I can build a profitable and ambitious business. Scale faster than companies that have raised tens of millions of dollars. We decided with François and Vianney to take our company in a new direction. But the media only talks about the biggest numbers. It's the same success story over and over again. Even if these companies...
Yeah, like imagine this, like ask yourself this question. Would you rather have a small company, a small office, small team, big profit margins, and when you have an idea, something you want to do, you just change direction, you go all in that way? Like me, for example, we're traveling a lot this year. I make decisions based on what my family, me, my wife, my 2 kids, what we want to do. And then my main focus is just family and customers and clients and students. Like we just do everything fast. Like, oh, you need this thing, let's create it. And there's not a lot of people involved. And it like that's freedom to me.
So we had to outsmart them, do something unexpected. When I was a kid, I was good at one thing, doing things that I can't. No, doing things that I shouldn't. You shouldn't eat too much, Guillaume. You're a chubby kid. I was.
I love that he's so relatable, that he's just being himself. This is what really got him to where he is today. He's just being himself and following his passion. taking those risks and investing in a business than not looking for the money, the quick fix, just long-term mindset. And we can do this. Believe that this is possible.
You shouldn't play basketball. You're too small. Yeah, I was. You shouldn't grow a mustache. It would look, I did. You shouldn't build a business with your dad, put pressure on him, and ruin the relationship with the person you admire the most. I did that too. But all these things made me become the person I am today, which made me wonder, what can we do that we shouldn't? We needed to get noticed. So we decided to raise funds publicly and then turn down the offer. We're using all
That's bold. So you decide to raise funds to get publicity, but then you turn down the offer. I love that.
visibility that we built in the last weeks in order to show a new type of success story. We want to encourage all the profitable and ambitious companies out there. For this, we got in touch with an investor, Pascal.
Je m'appelle Pascal Jen.
She liked our vision, even though she knew we wouldn't take her offer. We did everything a company should do in order to get an offer like this. Data analysis, pitch meeting, sharing our numbers, and all of that was extremely exhausting. 1 week after that, we received Pascal's offer. $20 million at a $100 million valuation. But there's one thing we didn't plan.
By the way, before we go into the next part here, one thing that I learned with SaaS valuations is they're super high. Like, just take the revenue that you're generating, you could easily have a 10x valuation from there. So he's talking about 100 million valuation already. And this was over a year ago. So I don't know what it is today, but yeah, SaaS, huge valuations.
Doing this in public brought us a lot of attention, much more than we expected. We received more than 50 emails from investors we didn't even know. But that's not it. Something big came up. Another investor reached out to us. Vianney, François, and I were offered $30 million. 15 million could go to the company, $15 million directly in our pocket. That's $5 million each.
Okay, so this is interesting. This just took a turn because sometimes when you get money from investors, you have to reinvest that into the company, at least if you agree so in the contract, because they invest in the growth of the company for equity. And what this contract said is you all get 5 million each, 15 million personally, and then 15 stays in the company to keep growing it. So, I mean, again, respect, mad respect to say no to something like this.
Such an amount is life-changing for François, Vianney, me, and also our families. Vianney could give his kids everything they'll ever need in life. François could start a family of his own without ever worrying about money. I think of my parents. They grew up on a farm, didn't get any degree, and never earned a lot of money. They sacrificed a lot, so my brother and I could get everything we needed. With such money, I would finally be able to give back. But we thought about the company, the team. Saying yes could change everything. We could lose the family spirit, the freedom, everything we built this company for. Fundraising is not our definition of success. You can succeed. Everyone can. And you don't need millions. We had to do what we shouldn't. And that's why we said no.
Sometimes that's the best thing you can say. No. I think it was Warren Buffett who said, one thing that every successful entrepreneur or investor has in common is they say no to most things. Because in life, and this is another quote by somebody, I can't remember, in order to get success, you have to make sacrifices. And if you don't make sacrifices, what you want, your goals, end up becoming the sacrifice. I love this. You know what I think they did? I think that they went the bootstrapped Clickfunnels way, where I think it was Dan Kennedy who said, and Russell Brunson is so often heard quoting Dan Kennedy, whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. Meaning, if you can acquire a customer for $10, you spend $10, you make $10, now you're building a list, an audience, a community of customers, not just emails, but you have both leads and customers and clients, and you acquire them for free. break even, maybe even a profit, which is why I'm so passionate about funnels. On the back end, you have upsells and you have other offers, and then you build a community of high ticket stuff for people who want more access to you. And all this makes you profitable on the back end, that you reinvest into the marketing and you front load the leads. And then again, you acquire leads and customers for free or even at profit. And so this company or any company or your company, what you could do is just look at ways that you can amplify your marketing with break even lead and client customer acquisition. And that's one of the lessons from this. Another one is saying no is sometimes the most powerful thing you can do. And it's also sometimes the most fun thing that you can do. So for me, again, by listening to my mentor, my friends, and just taking time to think myself, not how can I make the most amount of money right now? Because like I mentioned, I got an offer for one of my businesses, not a huge amount, but one thing that was included was, we'll buy your company, your domain, and you come working with us. And you can still have your business, but what you'll do is you will work, let's say, 40 hours a week. You got to be all in. You got to be invested in our mission. And I really loved everything that they're doing. I really still do. I love the person, the people that I talked to. We had meetings and everything that we went over was like awesome. The only thing, and here's the main takeaway, the only thing that I didn't like was give it even 5% up from what I've already built. This YouTube channel, this community, you being here, this is what I love doing. My relationship with Russell Brunson, like when I did a story about this new office, he commented, replied to my Instagram story, like, looks awesome. The fact that he is my client, that Clickfunnels, which has been a dream for so long now, for years. And I've worked my ass off late nights, like right now is Saturday, and I'm here because I love doing this. And now I'm gonna go home, spend time with family. And I love this simple life of like, I spend time with my friends, my family, and I record videos and I learn new things and I educate people and I see the growth in them, the personal journey of entrepreneurship that we go through. And that's all I want. That's all I need. And with this, everything we're doing with funnels, with tutorials and trainings and templates, I don't make decisions based on how I feel right now. The possibilities, the upside that I see right now, I make them based on what I want to do. So I'm happy and feel fulfilled by serving others. Because that's how it's going to be sustainable. If I go do something for 6 months, 12 months, and it's not aligned with my highest values, it's not going to last. And so that is another key takeaway from this video. With that said, amazing video. Shout out to Guillaume Moubeches. I respect your decision. And I think I would have done the same no matter the bag. With that said, let me know what you would do in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video.